Well, turning again to the nationwide baby formula shortage, the FDA commissioner is facing tough questions on Capitol Hill today about how we got to this point. Meanwhile, President Biden has invoked the Defense Production Act to boost supply. And yesterday, the House passed legislation to help lower-income families secure baby formula for their children. So we want to bring in CBS News political reporter Caitlin Huey-Burns to dig a little deeper into that bill. Caitlin, good morning. Tell us more about what's in this legislation.
Hey, good morning, Anne-Marie. Well, the House passed two bills last night. One of those bills gives more money to the FDA, about $20 million, to address future shortages, but it also goes to allow more inspectors and some more oversight. And that's really important here because if you remember with the Abbott facility closing, interestingly enough, over the weekend, former FDA Commissioner Scott Gottlieb told our Margaret Brennan that the FDA only has a really small group of inspectors to oversee the entire baby formula market. And that was really striking considering that this is such a huge deal. The other part of this bill would give good oversight to the Department of Agriculture to allow under this nutrition program for women and children and infants called WIC, allow more flexibility under that plan. So that people under that plan can buy different brands of formula. And that's significant because we've seen the kind of consolidation of this formula market under the WIC program. Abbott, who was the manufacturer that had to shut down because of the contamination at the plant, has about 50% of WIC families. So that means that they haven't been able to buy any other product. So this gives more flexibility for that. But there is this question about what this would do for families right now, and that is kind of overarching all of this. And there are still a lot of questions up here on Capitol Hill about how to have more oversight over the FDA, because they essentially the conversations I've had with lawmakers, they say the FDA dragged its feet in informing the public about this Abbott plan, and also addressing this consolidation of the baby formula market. Only 4 companies really control all of the baby formula here, about 95% of the market. And so this has raised questions beyond the formula shortage. What do you do about kind of the lack of options, really, and the idea that 4 companies kind of have a monopoly over this market?
So explain why there is some pushback from Republican lawmakers.
Well, a few Republicans voted for this bill, but by and large, they are opposed to the funding. They say that the funding for the FDA doesn't present enough guardrails here. And they also say that these issues can be addressed without necessarily injecting new money into the problem. And that kind of gets to the argument that you've been hearing from Republicans up here, that they argue that the FDA and other agencies already have the funds necessary for this. But this has really become a political issue, guys. I mean, this has been very striking to see Republicans really focusing in on this for their broader argument about the economy and inflation. Up here on Capitol Hill, it's pretty much all Republicans are talking about trying to point the finger at the Biden administration. But it is significant that the Biden administration took that move to invoke the Defense Production Act. That's something that lawmakers up here on Capitol Hill had been calling for. But the big question is, what kind of relief can families get right now? And part of what the Biden administration announced yesterday is that they are helping to get the formula from overseas of these FDA-approved plants over here more quickly. But again, those are the big questions. A lot of what's in this legislation that passed in the House is kind of aimed at preventing future shortages. But still, families are hurting. And what's really important here not to lose sight of is the impact that this is having on low-income families. I think that's a really important part of this story.
So, at the end of the day, though, as you point out, these are the sort of moves that will help future problems, but we got a big problem right now. When can families expect to see supplies return to normal?
Well, that will be a big question for the FDA as the commissioner comes before lawmakers today. The FDA has agreed to open the plant in Michigan, and they say that reopening that plant still will take about 6 to 8 weeks to get that product onto shelves. Now, the Defense Production Act could help boost supply and address some of these issues with supply chain. We know that the formula manufacturers say that they're working around the clock to increase their supply and get it to shelves. But this is a multi-pronged problem here, and a lot of families depend on a very specific type of formula. So even if you are ramping up production of formula, a lot of families depend on a very specific type because of, different health issues. I have an 8-month-old baby. I know that when he was in the early stages of infancy, that a specific type of formula had specific types of effects. So that's also an issue here too. It's not just any type of formula that you can get. It's kind of these specific brands, and that could continue to be a problem.
All right, Caitlin Huey-Burns for us. Thank you, Caitlin.
Thank you.